Peace and love. Hello there, you're welcome to the No Stand Zone podcast. As always, my name is Tiae. I'm your humble host, as I always try to be every single week. I mean, you guys are always make me feel good, make me feel a lot bigger, I would say, or a lot better than I am, or I think I am, with all the love you guys show on social media. And you guys keep listening every single week, and the comments and the interactions on YouTube as well, the likes, the subscriptions. Thank you very, very much. That's why I started the show today with peace and love. So much of that coming from me to you, wherever you're listening to the podcast from. Well, how was your week? I hope you had an incredible week, like I did as well. Well, I wouldn't say incredible. I would say less eventful, actually, than it usually is, because I don't want to say for some reason, but I tried this week, which is something I'm trying to pick up before the end of the year. I tried this week to stay off social media as much as possible. Now, if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know I live on social media because I have this FOMO, fear of missing out on either the latest news, the latest conversations or discussions happening around the Nigerian music industry. A lot of that happens on Twitter. That's what I'm always gonna call this thing. A lot of the conversations around the music industry happens on Twitter, and for some reason, whenever I'm out doing my day job, doing my regular stuff, my mind is always still there. Like, no, I don't want to miss out what is happening. Is there a breaking news? Is someone talking about something? But then I realized sometime during this week, and it's amazing that it took me this long to get to that point, because it was beginning to take over my life. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm one of those people who I have to check social media. Not the first thing, because I'm very big on that. Not the first thing, but like one of the first things I do every morning. I do it again several times during the day. Before I go to bed at night, I'm checking it. And unfortunately, while I'm in bed, just before I close my eyes, I pick up my phone to check one more time. That's a lot of time, a lot of hours, a lot of, I would say, some would say productive hours that I probably should be spending doing something else. But I mean, it is what it is. I decided this week to kind of roll back a bit on the time that I spend on social media. So I don't know if you guys have noticed it all. Maybe you didn't. But I tried to spend less time on social media this week. For my own good, one, I would say. Because the thing is, the news is always going to be there. I'm not covering like the daily news or of the event happening around the Nigerian music industry, right? This were the conversations I was having with myself, actually. Like, I'm not covering it every day. I don't own a blog. I'm not a writer. So if whenever I come back in, somehow, some way, because of the people I follow, these conversations will still be on, and I probably wouldn't miss it. It took a lot of talking to. I'm not even gonna lie here. It took a lot of internal speaking to myself to kind of get there. So that was kind of like what my week was, uneventful. I always have, some eventful stuff or someone I'm getting mad at on Twitter. I'm not usually replying people because I'm not just confrontational like that. But I would say, it's good. If you haven't tried that, and if you're someone that is always on social media as well, you probably should try it. And I tried to stay off Twitter as well and go try other social media platforms, like, I'm about to say, drum roll please. Okay, I'm on Blue Sky. That's crazy. That's crazy. Just when I say I'm trying to stay off social media, right, I go up and sign up for another social media platform. See, man, I don't even know what to say to myself at this point, but I actually stayed off, to be honest. I actually stayed off social media, like cut off the time I stayed on social media this week. And everyone has been talking about this Blue Sky throughout the week, like they're moving away from Twitter, especially some people that actually follow on Twitter, like celebrities and all of that. So I was like, wait, what's happening in this Blue Sky? Let me go sign up. So if you're on Blue Sky as well, please follow me on Blue Sky, okay? But I've not been paid, so I'm not even going to tell you to go there or not go. But if you're on Blue Sky, that's where you're active now. Please follow me on Blue Sky. Guess what? It's the same handle. It's Tiae Sound, Tiae Sound, Sound. That's Tiae Sound. Follow me on Blue Sky as well. If it's still stuck in my tongue somehow, some way. But yeah, follow me on Blue Sky. Honestly, I cannot promise that I'm going to be really active there because, see, honestly, life is life, man. I have a regular day job and all of that, so but I will try to keep posting there as well, and we'll see how it goes. Just the time I'm trying to roll back on social media, right? And I know the kind of person I am, and that's why I haven't even posted anything there. I haven't done anything there because I don't want to be so attached that when I'm trying to get out of Twitter, I'm getting knee deep into Blue Sky. But either way, please follow me there. At some point, I'm gonna be putting out content on that platform as well. And see, you should put me in your prayers. I mean, someday maybe I start to do this full time. It will feel really good. That is the goal. Maybe not, but either way, you're going to be having me here every single week, at least for the meantime, bringing you the best conversations around the Nigerian music industry. Okay. I hope you had I hope you had a better week than I did. Not eventful. I know you guys are, probably some of you are preparing for the holidays already and all of that. That's if you're on this side of the world where the holiday starts basically from, I would say October. People start preparing like Thanksgiving and all of that stuff. So whatever it is you're planning, good luck to you. So let me remind you as well that we are on YouTube. Is the No Stand Zone podcast with Tiae, actually. The No Stand Zone podcast with Tiae on YouTube. Please follow there. Subscribe while you're there as well. Please share with friends. If there's content there that you saw that you really liked or video you watched, please do not hesitate to share with friends as well. And you can tag me. I mean, it's fine. Let me know that you're there. That will feel good as well. So let's dive into the show for today. And today we're starting with regular programming because last week, we started because something was bothering me. The whole Grammy thing was bothering me. I needed to get it out. My brain was so hot all throughout the week that I couldn't come in and talk about new music without diving into all of that first. Okay, so I tried to catch up on a few things here and there. We're going to talk about them and on the new music that I had time to actually catch up on. So let's start with this. Oh my goodness, Tyla has a new song out titled "Tears." I put out okay. See, I know how that sounds. I put out a tweet this week where I said I don't have the time to pull it up exactly, but I put the whole gist of the tweet is this: to all the haters out there, to all the she's not black crowd, to the crowd that says she is a industry plant. To all those people, to all of you, you are going to be hating Tyla for a long time, for a longest time. Like, you guys need to prepare because this lady is not joking. Like I have said here several times that she is super talented. For some reason, oh my gosh, I'm about to go on a rant. But yeah, I still have a few to go before the end of the year. For some reason, she was taken off the category where she could actually win again this year. That album, the Tyla, the Deluxe, is just as mad, just as crazy. For me, she released the album this year as well as the Deluxe. That album is still the best album on the continent to be released on the African continent this year. Like, it's not even a there's no shadow of a doubt that it's not even nominated for a global award. Like, I'm surprised, right? It's like she literally just vanished. And the thing is, it's so sad. And I understand. Most people are like, well, she won an award when she shouldn't have. But the thing is, we've allowed the Grammys create a wedge amongst us. Because for me, I don't hold her responsible for that. She couldn't have said no to the Grammys. They gave her that award last year. It is not her fault. Or, this year, I think it was, this year she was given out. She couldn't have rejected the award. It was given to her. That's not her fault. That they gave it to someone who did not deserve it at the time, it is absolutely not her fault. But then the thing is, every time her name comes up now, it's so many things. From people in America, from people here in Africa as well, Nigerians, people have things to say. But then the thing is this, right here on the no stand, the name tells you the no stand zone. We have more nuanced conversations here. We dig deeper into this thing. The thing is, Tyla is an African, a South African. She is super talented. This song titled Tears tells me more than I even know already. Like, it doesn't tell me more than I know already. She is vocally, there is none that comes close to her in the pop scene, right? None even comes close. As a performer, no female artist on the continent comes close to Tyla. Like, we need to start having some more nuanced conversations. I know people don't want to talk about it. People don't want to engage in the conversations because of how they feel about her and the Grammys and all of that. I understand. But this girl is another level. Nobody even comes close. This song titled Tears, my gosh. Where do I even start from, my girl? Where do I even start from? I am so proud of what this girl has been able to achieve, man. I heard this song and I was like, wait, what is going on? This guitar is it almost makes me want to cry. The chords they sound magical, touching the soul. This is what music is. Like, sometimes it is not about what the person is singing. You get the right chords that do something. For everyone that pays attention to music and just understands, the little things, right? You would understand what I'm talking about. And trust me, this is not the only song that I'm going to be talking about today that got me in my feels this week. Like, we're going to get there. But man, this song by Tyla, I am so excited for her. I did not know she had this in her because of the type of album she's given to us already, more pop-based, with the Afrobeat sound, with more of the piano that came in the deluxe version. And just the overall stardom and the aura that is around her, right? And like, it's evident. It's evident that Tyla is one of the most talented artists on the African continent, no doubt. I am proud of her. I am so glad, right, that she could pull a song like this off. And I'm sure most people are like, what is it about the song? The thing is, when break out like that, there is usually sometimes on either the follow-up, they overthink it, right? And they mess up. Sometimes they're not able to elevate the game and they could remain stale, right? But damn, this song, Tyla, Tears, I am so proud of this lady. I am so happy for where she is. This is talent. Incredible vocals, the production, the arrangement of the song, the texture, what she's singing about. My gosh, I have absolutely no criticism of this song. I don't know why they're releasing a song already. Maybe they're trying to play to the I don't want to insinuate, because everybody does that now. Anytime an artist releases a song, it's like, oh, they're trying to play to the Grammys and all of that, right? I mean, with Burna Boy, he's nominated again this year for that song. I can't even recall, but he's nominated this year again for one of those categories that has to do with his best performance or something. The song it's not even, well, I can't say it's not going to win, but doesn't deserve to win because those people over there, they know what they do. But man, Tyler, I am so proud of you. This is an incredible record. You should be proud of, man. You are a bona fide superstar, talented lady, for sure. Then let's get to the next song that actually got me in my feels again this year. Now, guys, brace yourself up because I'm gonna go on a tangent as well with this song. There's so much to touch on, so many takeaways from this song by Ric Hassani featuring Neyo and Joeboy on this song titled Love and Romance 2. Oh, Ric Hassani. Oh, Ric Hassani. My question, it's like, why hasn't this collaboration happened long before now? This was a record I did not know that I needed. Let's start from the first 20 seconds of this song. My goodness, guys. See, like I mentioned with the Tyler song, there are times when you get on certain chords that reaches your heart, that reaches a part of you that you're like, oh my gosh. I literally replayed this 20 seconds, first 20 seconds of this song, I don't know how many times. This is such an incredible chord projection here. I know not so many people are going to be talking about this because most people lack the thing to just get it, right? He starts this song with one of the most incredible chord progressions I have heard from a Nigerian artist. And it's like not trying to do too much. Just give me this chords. This got me in my feels, man. I'm not even gonna lie. This whole song got me in my feels. It hit a place in my heart somewhere. I was driving while listening to this song, and my goodness, it was short of having tears fall on my face just listening to how beautifully put together this song was. Imagine the song is so good that it got me in my feels, man. I'm not even gonna pretend to be hard or anything here. I am a sucker for good music. If the song is good, it's like there's nothing you can do. Shout out to my man who says music doesn't need permission to enter your spirit. You know, if it hits you, it hits you. There's absolutely, kind of nothing you can do about it. Shout out to my man Mobad, rest in peace. That song with Chike titled Ego is just incredible. It says music doesn't need permission to enter your spirit. If it does, it does. There's nothing you can do. And that's kind of like how I feel, how this song kind of hit me. This song, the first 20 seconds, I was like, how it almost impossible for Ric Hassani, Neyo and Joeboy to go off, like to mess this song off, because these chords are just magical. Let me then go next to the songwriting. I will give it to the three of them. The three of them were in their bag on this one, right? Like you were putting out the message. It's clear with the right, from like texture, of your voice, the way you say, the way three of them kind of locked in. I am like, Joeboy heard probably the two verses from Ric Hassani and Neyo. I was like, no, I need to step up in the way I will deliver, because with the R&B centered songs, the delivery is like 80% of the thing. You might sing about plants and oceans, and you might even sing about phones, paper. But then with R&B, it is how you deliver that can make a difference on an R&B record. And all of them delivered how they were supposed to deliver on a song about love and romance, right? And then let me go to Neo for a second, because hearing Neo's verse on this song took me back to when I was like 11, 12. The first time I ever kind of consciously knew that, okay, I could bust a note, I could sing and things like that. I was in a boarding school, part of a choir. And I remember what we're always like in a choir together in a classroom. And we're being taught the different, harmonies, alto, soprano. And I would be in that room. This was the first time I heard the choir sing, everyone singing in their part. And it sounded so magical to me at that age, like 11. I was like, what is this? I've been taught my part, right? And I remember being, put in tenor because of like, you're a guy, you have to sing tenor, right? And I remember that I've been taught my part and I'm singing my part. But then I'm looking at others sing theirs along with mine, and it sounds so magical. I remember the first time and listening to Neo's verse, it was like the moment he just started to sing, it just shocked my memory. Like, it was like I was zapped back to, that 11-year-old boy in that boarding school, in that GSS1 class, and, filled with other students, and we were singing, and the harmonies and the melodies and all, like the harmonies sound really good. That was what happened listening to Neo on this song. Oh, I was like, this is it. If our artists get it, there is an expertise to this thing. You don't just come in, and with all due respect to Ric Hassani and Joeboy, and I'm sure they feel the same way, that Neo is another level of songwriter and singer. He's written for some of the biggest artists, in the States, right? And I heard, and the thing is, I was listening to his verse, and I'm like, the thing with songwriting that most people don't get, and this is the part I want to quickly touch on when it comes to songwriting. And people talk about, pen game in this industry. And I've spoken about it on this part before, that most people have zero idea what pen game actually means. It doesn't have to, it almost has nothing to do with the amount of words spoken. It almost has nothing to do with, how you're able to craft the words and how you're able to tell. It almost has nothing to do with that sometimes. Sometimes it is just about a simple message delivered simply. Sometimes that's what I like. I feel like most times that is what a good written song is, just a simple song delivered simply. Basically, that is it. And I've always said, one of the songs that I've always blown my mind is a song by Justin Bieber titled Baby. I heard that song as a young man. I was like, what the heck is this? How is a song this simple, this straight to the point? Baby, 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 oh, baby, 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 thought you will always be mine. And it's one of the biggest songs in the world. And the thing is, whoever you are, you hear that song, you can connect with what he's saying. You get the point. So sometimes it is not about having so many words to say. And Neo had less words than Joeboy on this. His verse had less words, but then it masterfully delivered. Masterfully delivered. Man, and the thing is, our industry needs to get there. There is no reason why someone like Ric Hassani or even Joeboy is not writing for people, and it's not a big deal. Like, Neo has written for people that is not even a big deal. I even still saw today that I think an R&B artist in the US, her name is Money Long, if you know her, one of the new R&B singers as well. Probably she's been doing this for a while. I'm not sure of that. That if someone just put out a tweet saying they didn't know that she wrote one of, Keke Palmer's maybe biggest songs from 2012. Like, it's not a big deal. I hope we get to that point in the Nigerian music industry where, you can reach out to people who actually know how to write songs. And the thing is, it's not about them just giving you the song and you must sing it the way it is. Most times, 9 out of 10, the song that is being delivered to the artists, because the artists are artists as well, they can touch it and deliver and put their own twist on it. Right? They can deliver and give their own twist on it. I've heard Chris Brown talk about it before. He was on an interview and it was like, oh, he uses songwriters and all of that. And the next question he asked was like, well, who can sing it like me? And at the end of the day, you're still the artist. Right? You're still the artist. Like, what are we even talking about? I don't know why it is so difficult for this industry to eventually become comfortable with artists using songwriters, and it's not a slight, because we're still far from that. I can tell you, we're still far from that. We're going to talk a little bit more about an artist who has been able to sort of, I would say, get comfortable with using songwriters, and he's not getting as much backlash or whatever like other artists, or the way it is looked at or frowned upon in the industry. We'll talk about that in a few. But man, this song is absolutely brilliant. Joeboy held his own, beside two incredible artists, Ric Hassani and Neyo, on this song. Ric Hassani, this was an incredible record, incredibly put together. I was looking at the behind the scenes as well of Neyo listening and delivering his verse. And let me also talk about this. And I want to give a big shout out to Neyo here because of this behind the scenes video. The video it's probably, you guys, I think it's on Spotify. Go check it out. If you go to Ric Hassani's page on Spotify, go to the song, like the songs page. There's a short video posted there where Neyo listened to the song and he delivered his verse. And I just feel very sure it may be like 10-15 seconds, and if it's even up to that. And Neyo posted a part, like a short part of the clip was him struggling to get a note right. And that just made me remember something, a conversation that was happening maybe earlier this year or last year, where Morayo, another Afrobeat artist, pop artist, put out a video of him trying to get a particular note in his verse. He put out the whole process of him trying to get it. And surprisingly, I saw a lot of people clowning him, right? And there have been several videos like that as well, where there's the behind the scenes where someone is like literally almost screaming into the mic, trying to get a certain note right, or trying to get a certain feeling, trying to transfer the feeling into the song. And people are like, oh, why does this person sound a certain way? And I just felt so good that Neyo actually posted that even the best artist, the studio is where you make those mistakes. It's where you make sure you get it right. And the people that are usually having these conversations on the internet, they know absolutely nothing. Like and nobody, I mean, and man, that goes back to where this whole idea comes from. I think it's from the hip hop thing, rap, where, you go into the studio and just drop a verse. I mean, you're not having to deal with a note. With all due respect to rappers, I mean, it's another beautiful genre on its own. It takes skill and all of that, hard work, but it's nothing compared to hitting a note. You can be an incredible songwriter, but you have to hit the note. You have to hit the note. You can practice. In fact, you can even copy someone's cadence without being a rapper yourself. You can copy someone's cadence and deliver a verse. If you are not a singer, in fact, there's even a level to even singing where you might not be able to hit the note that the singer is hitting. So sometimes you need to go over and over it. You need to go over the thing, trying to hit the note, get the right emotion That's even if it's R&B, then you have to make sure you get the right emotion every time you're singing the song. You want to be able to transfer that and make sure that whoever is listening to it on the other end is able to catch that. So I was so glad that, they left that part in the video, because it is something that is frowned upon and looked at a certain way in the industry. This is where you clown people that, oh, look at the way he's screaming into the mic or whatever. And these are coming from people who have never had to produce any song in their lives. So I just needed to point that out as well. I am so proud of Ric Hassani, Neyo, Joeboy. Incredible record. This song had me in my feels, maybe shed a tear, right? I think my only criticism is to Ric Hassani is, if you're going to start with 20 seconds of incredible music, with that chord progression, the first 20 seconds, you have to end the song with that chord. You cannot cut it off. I think probably this is the difference. If I cannot imagine that someone like Neyo, that this is his song and he doesn't end with those same chords again. I don't care if the song is already 10 minutes, right? You cannot go and not end this song with another 20 seconds of that beautiful chord progression. This song is already 3 minutes, 16 seconds. I'm like, no, another 20 minutes doesn't kill you. It gives the song more flavor. It gives the song more life, more... that part, I was so mad. When I got to the end of the song and it was like they were about to start the chord progression again and he just caught it. I was like, what the freaking heck? How do you do that? How do you even make that kind of mistake? I was like, well, they didn't. How is it that you didn't hear this chord and you didn't this chord progression for Ric Hassani and you weren't like, no, my God, there's no way we're not ending this song with this same chord progression again. I could go on and on talking about this, especially this first 20 seconds. Oh my gosh. I'm listening to it right now. Unfortunately, I can't play for you guys for copyright reasons, but man, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh, man. Let me stop this. This was a beautiful song, man. Ric Hassani, you should be proud of yourself, man. Incredible record. I'm almost lost for words, but this was an incredible record. Well put together, well arranged. Neyo being his verse being in the middle just gives this song balance as well, because it was great that he was in the middle, because if you had started and then we go from Ric Hassani to Joeboy like that and having both of them, it wouldn't have done justice to this song. Having Neyo in the middle do what he did on this record, it was a great, incredible decision as well. Man, incredible record is all I will say on this, to kind of round it off, because I could go on and on about how much I actually do like this record. So another body of work came out this week. Her name is Lade. She had this new EP titled Morph. I've spoken about her before. I think when I was talking about Means, reviewing his album, and I was saying, I was talking about having an identity, when artists have an identity, right? And how I'm not, whatever Means did on his album, I'm not paying attention to that. His second body of work is what is going to tell me a lot more about what this album probably meant. You might not understand what I mean, but yeah, go back. I went at length talking about that Means album, but I'm talking about Lade, and the reason why I mention her is she's one of the artists that I've always kind of criticized, that I don't know where they stand. I don't know where she stands. She has done different styles of, delivery, like of delivering records that I'm like, She has done songs like that, like gospel leaning, that are dance leaning, that are slow leaning. And at some point, I need to know where you are. And she's released, like, she has a decent catalog of songs that, even at that, it is still difficult to kind of point where she is. And today, some people might see that as a flex. It is not. Like, I understand that people are like, oh, I'm diversified. Man, all of that is cool until you're trying to build, and you're trying to build a catalog. We need to, like, because the catalog of music, you're trying to get fans and all of that. We need to be able to identify you, recognize you. At some point, that has to be the case. And my biggest criticism I've had of her is, I don't know where she stands, right? So I went into this EP kind of with that, with that in mind. And I will say, after listening to a large portion of this EP already, I will say, I hear you, is what I would say to her on this record, about this EP. I hear you. It is not easy, especially for female artists. The truth needs to be said here. I look at all the female artists that, like the top female artists that are out there today, right? I mean, Stems, there is Iris Star, there is Tyla, just talked about her. I mean, I will add some of my favorite ladies, this Tiae, there as well. And Tyra Tiae is what I was going to say. There's Tiwa Savage. Like, I just look at all these ladies, and these are the top of the top. We'll talk about Nigerian artists, right? And to be honest, they all look a certain way. At some point, we have to say, you know what? Fuck it. They all look a certain way. And this is not like what I personally feel against her. This has nothing to do with her. This, and it's more, I think it's more of a societal like problem and thing like that, right? Where it is, you need to, show us, like, you need to give a certain or to get some sort of attention in it. Like, that's what it feels like, at least to me. I'm yet to be proven wrong on that. I mean, another person would say bloody civilian, but I mean, even her, right? It's like you need to give a certain aura. I'm talking about from the branding side. We can't talk about the whole artist without that, right? So, I mean, she doesn't look like them. And I think that my question is, and because I still haven't gotten a grace of like who she is and what her brand exactly is, right? And so I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, how does she break out in the industry that where all the female artists are a certain way, like sexual, and we're all revealing. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. You guys know that. But I'm saying that's what it is, especially for those who are pop leading, right? And the funny thing is, I haven't heard a lot being said about this album as well. I think she just released it. I mean, she just released the album on Friday, and I can understand how it's fading and nobody really is talking about it because of what this week has been about. We'll talk about that in a bit as well. We're one of the biggest artists releasing this week. I can see how it just looks like her voice just gets drowned in all of that, right? So as I'm listening to this album, one person's album that just comes to mind is Means. And my question for people out there is, if you think that Means delivered such an incredible album, then you have to feel the same way about Lade's EP titled Morph. Because I'm not going to say it's a copy and paste, but this album, they mirror each other with the delivery and just the style of the the sound of the sonic, giveaway or take away from the project is the same thing. Means just has more songs in his album. Well, hers is an EP. Basically, that's it. And this is why I'm going to be holding people accountable, because I was saying it about the Means project that it's the sonic, excellence of that album is what gives it life, and that is what kind of Lade did not have on this EP. Like compared to Mint's album, I'm not using it as because overall, maybe let me finish with this point first. Sonically, it didn't have what Mint's had, and that was my criticism. That without that, you have sort of like a Lade project, is what it is, right? Which is just you're working around a certain sound, and you're just able to deliver. And some of them, I mean, for me, I'm like, my overall takeaway is I hear you. It's more of that leaning towards that Afro R&B-ish that everyone is doing now, where you're not the greatest, you're not delivering with your best vocal performance, right? Similar with what Minst has done, and a lot of new artists are doing today, where you can play around with that R&B Afrobeat sound, and if you don't have to be sonically extraordinary, if you're having the right things to say, and you say it in a certain mellow way that goes with the beat, then you're fine. Basically, is what this album is giving me. This album is giving me that same, that same vibe as well. There are not many takeaways. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't a bad EP, right? But there was nothing about it that kind of caught my attention or drew me off, right? At the end of the day, I mean, this industry is based on hits. You still need some sort of a song to get you out there. I don't know what to say. You can keep giving us like really good delivery and all of that. At some point, you need to have a hit. I think that's probably the difference between her and maybe someone like King Badi, who's just coming into the industry as well. She can boast of hits. I mean, she has the one with Chloe Bailey. She has the big one with Benson Ole, for sure. See Finish was also another hit. No Vision was one as well. Like, you need at least a song that keeps you out there in the conversation, something that you can build on. And she has not been able to do that. I think that's kind of like where she's struggling. She's not a bad artist. She's not a terrible artist. I just think she needs something out there. She needs a hit of a, I'm not saying a global, whatever people do. She needs a song that is good enough that people will say, okay, like, wow, this. I don't know any artist that will survive without one, right? Even R&B, you need a song where everyone is talking about, oh, this particular song is, is really, really good. Like, everyone needs that one song that can get you out there, at least get enough people talking about you. I think that's what she needs at this point. She's not a bad artist. She's not a terrible artist. She definitely knows how to sing. I could get that from the very first song here titled on this album, on this EP titled Morph, titled on the song titled Now. She can sing. I've heard it before now, but I think she needs something to really give her the attention, to make people pay attention to her, because she's not a bad artist. I think that just kind of sums up basically what this album is about. But yes, it's tough. It's tough. I'm not even gonna mince words here, but yeah, Lade, I hear you. This gives me an idea of the kind of artist I would say you are. This is a more solid delivery, a more solid body of work is what I would say. Kind of, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say too much anymore about that. And then let's go to the big one everyone was talking about this weekend. And to be honest with you guys, it's funny, we have to get into this podcast like this far in before I actually give you part of the reasons why I stayed off social media, outside of the fact that I'm spending too much time part of the reason is I didn't want to also hear any of the reviews that will be given on this album, right? I wanted to listen to it myself. I didn't want to have any whatever from someone else, or to have their whatever reviews or their thoughts kind of creeping in my mind and trying to infect whatever my thoughts are. Because I mean, we have to be honest, sometimes that happens, right? And so, and I, for one, coming into the album, hearing the song, the very first song that Wizkid released a while ago, the one with Brett Fires, "Piece of My Heart," I had an optimistic view of this album already. Just hearing that, I was like, if this is the direction of the album, then I mean, this is going to be really good, right? This is going to be really good. And then when I had the Kese as well, the song titled Kese Dance, another one that I heard and I was like, okay, this is good work as well. Like, this is really good. And at that point, I wasn't really concerned anymore as to, would this album be good? Would it be? No. For me, I was like, I have an idea of the direction. Not like I know exactly, but I know what he's shooting for. I hearing that Brett Fires on "Piece of My Heart," there was no way the album is sonically going to be far away from that. There's no way you're getting an incredible artist like Brett Fires on your song and it will stick out like a sore thumb. You're probably going to build around that sound, that delivery, right? And you see, my overall take on this project is more outside of the songs in itself. I will let people give their takes on all that, but I want to speak to on a larger perspective, what I think about this project. My thing is this. I'm listening to this project. A lot of things just came to mind, and one of them was remembering the first time Wizkid came into this industry, probably like 2011, and 2010, 2011. And I was looking at how far he has come as an artist, and that was all I could think about. For me, this wasn't about, how great the album was, how not great the album was. For me, it was more, dude has come a long way. He's come a really long way. And the best way I can kind of describe my feelings around just him and this album is this. I'm going to give a sports sort of like example to kind of to explain how I feel. When I listening to this album, another person that came to my mind is LeBron James. And follow me here. If you don't listen to a lot of if you don't watch a lot of basketball, you might be asking a lot of questions at this point, like, okay, how do the two connect? But just follow me. Just like LeBron James, Wizkid has been in this industry for a long time. He's come into this industry from a really young age, right? And well, LeBron is a lot older, but I think we can kind of connect the two of them. And just like LeBron, Wizkid, just like LeBron came into this industry, like I said, young, and when they came in, came in with a bang. Came in with sort of like a mission, like we've never seen anything like this before. I think is the same. LeBron came into the industry and into the NBA same way. We're looking at him like this guy might end up to be one of the greatest. He affected the game itself, how the game is played. The same thing with Wizkid. I was on the streets at the time. A lot of people who talk about Wizkid today, I with all due respect to everyone, most people that are actively the loudest voices today went on the streets when Wizkid released that album. Right? And I remember that I was in several studios at the time as well. And everyone was trying to give that sound, to sing like Wizkid, basically deliver like him. Same thing with LeBron. Recently, we saw that LeBron's kid is also playing in the NBA, right? Same thing. A lot of people that have been influenced by Wizkid are actively in the industry as well today. Like, it is not even a conversation that Rema is heavily influenced by Wizkid. So he's also actively in the industry today. Now, LeBron has gone to, he's 39 today. He has done, he has reached the heights of the NBA, winning several championships. Wizkid has been at the top of this as well, with several recognitions with the biggest rappers in the world, with winning, the Grammys, winning Nigerian awards as well, being an ambassador, just like LeBron has been for the NBA. He's been an ambassador for the Afrobeats industry, for the Nigerian music industry and Afrobeats as a genre. In fact, because of him, so many artists have gotten good looks as well in the industry. Just like there were some of LeBron's teammates who have gotten good looks because they've played with him and they've won championships because he's there, aka Thames. He literally, because of him, she has been able to get good looks and get a really good, get her career in good trajectory. Same with LeBron. A lot of people who have played with him have gotten championships, aka Anthony Davis, who's gotten a championship and his career is on a good trajectory. We look at him as a champion, yes, and he's talented, but yeah, he has a championship today because of LeBron. Are you guys following me? Like that, as I'm listening to this, my mind was just opening wide at the similarities between the two. In fact, let's even take it a little playful here. LeBron has been accused several times of being, saying terrible things, like either not being truthful, right? Either about a certain experience. Yeah, people have said different things about him, lying and all of that, right? Same thing with Wizkid. In fact, if you speak to some of his fans, they wouldn't believe Wizkid is going to deliver an album on a certain date until the album delivers, because Wizkid literally says anything as well. He too has gotten several pushback because of what he has said. Things he has said related to his experience as to, when he's going to release an album or what he has coming up. And finally, LeBron is going to retire soon. And I feel that that's what's going to happen with Wizkid. And that brings me to this album. This album tells me, it speaks highly to someone who is very comfortable in who he is. This album gives me LeBron James at 39, giving you 29 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists as an average, like every match. Basically, that is what you're getting from a LeBron at this age, which is mind-blowing already, that someone at this age can still be giving you quality performance. And that's what I get with this. Like, he's been here so long, and he's still able to give you a really good project, because that is what this album is. Morayo by Wizkid is a really good project. For me, I'm not in his team. Nobody has said anything to me. This is me just looking at how far he's come where this project is now, I don't see how there isn't how we get 2 more albums from Wizkid at this point. For me, I'm thinking 1 more and we're done. Like 1 more, retire from this and do whatever you want to do outside of that. This tells me of someone, when someone gets old, and I'm not saying Wizkid is old, okay? He's just 34, man. Man is a young man. And the thing is, he's still young. He can still go as far as he wants to go. But what I'm getting here is, when old people just get to a certain point and they will tell you whatever they want to tell you. They don't care how you feel, right? I think he's in that state as well, where he doesn't care. And he's so comfortable. And his comfort place is still brilliant. His comfort zone is still an excellent body of work, is what I'm saying. Now, I was not wowed by this project. Let's be honest, right? Like I said, this is not LeBron in 2016. This is not a LeBron. The LeBron we're having now is not a LeBron of 2014, right? Same as Wizkid. This is not an album that wowed me and like, oh my gosh, or anything that kind of, maybe caught my attention too sharp. Like, I'm like, you get what I'm trying to say. I'm lost for words right now. But nothing extraordinary wowed me. But I was just so impressed at the comfortability I heard in the delivery. But then it was still top notch. From the way the songs were just arranged, slowly gliding into each other, and I can listen to this album several times. And I honestly did not listen to any song that I felt, okay, this was a filler, let me move through it, right? This was a decent body of work, and I hope you guys understand. Got my my reference, making the reference to him and LeBron James. Because that was all I could think about. And the more I thought about it and just the whole thing ruminated in my mind, I was like, oh yes, that is the right, comparison here. This was a really good project. I did enjoy it. I can listen to it again. It's just sonically brilliant as well. It's like, what you expect from Wizkid. What he's all about at this point, and you just take it in. Right? And I'm thinking in my mind, this is probably we get 1 more. Probably we get 1 more album for Wizkid, and I think he's done. Not because I'm saying he's done because this album was so bad, but making the LeBron reference here, I'm thinking we're not the maximum we're getting from Wizkid outside of now is 2 albums from now. It's 2 more albums from him, and my mind is probably gonna, probably not actively put out music, anymore. We're entering a very, very interesting decade, and this decade might just be it where Wizkid just hangs it up. I'm like, what? I'm done with this music for you guys. You guys go figure something. Like, I'm gonna do something else outside of the music. And in a way, this album might even be a farewell. Who knows? I was getting that vibe as well from this project. Honestly, I was getting that vibe as well. That, yeah, I've given you guys a lot. I've given you so much. Yes, let's be done, sort of, from this project as well. That's kind of like the vibe I was getting. So, yeah, you guys let me know. As always, I want to know what you think. But I mean, I'm not gonna go deeper than that. That was all I could think about just throughout the a couple of days that I've had to sit with this project. It's really decent. Wizkid has done so much for this industry, and I know the stands and all of that. So many people have negative things to say here and there, but let me also commend him for, and I heard that he used a couple of songwriters, so let me also commend him for that. He's one artist that has consistently done that, recognizing that, I mean, at some point, you need people who understand this music, who know how to put words together to help deliver a message. And there are just some people who are really good at this. It's not a slight on you if that is not your strongest suit, like your strongest, thing about you. It's art, it's music. Most times it's about, in fact, all of the time it's about collaboration, because nobody is out there doing it all alone, working their own album themselves, engineering it themselves, producing it themselves, still being the one to drop the vocals and not include anybody throughout the whole project. I mean, nobody builds a career that way. So in the end, it is still all about collaboration, and I commend him for that. He's still one who is stuck with that. Even when people have said things, he kind of stuck with knowing this is the right thing to do and actually doing it. So shout out to my man Wizkid. I have nothing negative to say about this project. Brilliant work. It tells me of someone that is so confident and just so settled in that sound, right, that we hear all around today, giving a lot of credence to people who don't have the greatest vocals, but can give you the sense of the fact that you're listening to an R&B project. It's still a pop project, please. Okay, it's still a pop project. So shout out to my man Wizkid on this one. I don't want to take any more of your time. I thought I was gonna have time to pick on one more thing, but we're already out of time. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. As always, I want to know what you think. It is not always about me, like I've said. It's also about collaboration. My DMs are open. I'm on Twitter. Is at Tiae Sound. That's at Tiae Sound. That's Tiae Sound. Also, the Twitter handle for the pod is No Stand Pod on Twitter as well. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I'm also on Blue Sky. I just went there. I haven't been posting a lot there, but if you're there, please let's connect. Let me know what you think about any other things we're spoken about today, whether it's Tyla's new song, Ric Hassani's new single, Lade's album Morph, or Wizkid's album Morayo. If you disagree or agree, whatever the case might be, please do not hesitate to share your thoughts with me on social media. And as always, please don't forget that we're also on YouTube. It's the No Stand Zone podcast with Tiae on YouTube, just like that. We're right there. While you're there, please like and also subscribe, share with your family and friends as well. So thank you very much for spending your time with me today on the No Stand Zone podcast. Please don't drink and drive, don't text and drive. Until next week, stay blessed.